This is marriage wisdom for wives who want a long marriage. Today, I want to talk to you about something that doesn't happen loudly. It happens quietly. So quietly that sometimes the wife herself doesn't realize it's happening while it's happening. And that is how resentment changes you. Not how it changes the marriage, how it changes you. Because resentment rarely begins as an argument. It begins as emotional fatigue. It begins when you've explained yourself multiple times and nothing changes. It begins when you've carried responsibilities for so long that carrying it starts to feel normal even when it's heavy. It begins when you stop expecting emotional relief. Not because you don't love your husband, but because you've adapted. Resentment changes your behavior before it ever changes your words. You start explaining less. You start expecting less. You start internalizing more. Not because you want distance, but because distance feels safer than disappointment. You become more self-contained. You handle things yourself. You start reaching emotionally the way you used to. And from the outside, nothing looks wrong. You're still there, still showing up, still doing what needs to be done, still functioning as a wife. But internally, something has shifted. Resentment makes you protect your emotional energy, not in a dramatic way, in a quiet way. You stop volunteering your vulnerability. You stop opening conversations that feel emotionally risky. You stop bringing up things that historically haven't been resolved because your nervous system remembers. Your heart remembers. Resentment is not dramatic, it's protective. It teaches you to survive emotionally inside your own marriage. This is why resentment is so dangerous if it goes unnamed, because it doesn't destroy the marriage overnight. It slowly reduces emotional openness. It slowly reduces emotional safety. It slowly reduces emotional availability. Not out of punishment, out of self-preservation. And many wives feel guilty for this. They ask themselves, why am I quieter now? Why don't I share the way I used to? Why don't I feel as emotionally open? The answer is not because you stopped loving him. The answer is because your emotional system adapted to protect itself. This is human. This is not failure. This is emotional survival. But here's the truth about long marriages. Resentment is not the end of the marriage. Unaddressed, resentment is what creates emotional separation. Resentment itself is information. It is your emotional system telling you something needs attention. Something needs repair. Something needs acknowledgement. Because resentment grows where emotional needs have gone unmet for too long without relief. And this goes both ways. Wives experience resentment. Husbands experience resentment. Both partners can feel unseen at different times in the marriage. Marriage is not a constant state of emotional balance. It moves in seasons. There are seasons where one partner carries more. There are seasons where the other partner carries more. There are seasons of strength. There are seasons of vulnerability. What protects the marriage is not the absence of resentment. It is the willingness to recognize it before it hardens into emotional distance. Resentment softens when emotional safety returns, when effort returns, when presence returns, when consideration returns. Resentment does not require perfection to heal. It requires awareness. It requires honesty. It requires emotional repair. Because long marriages are not built on emotional perfection. They are built on emotional endurance. They are built on emotional repair. They are built on two people continuing to choose stability even through imperfect seasons. Resentment does not mean your marriage is broken. It means your emotional system is asking for reconnection. And long marriages survive when that reconnection is honored, not ignored, not avoided, not buried, acknowledged. Because resentment is not the enemy. Emotional disconnect is the enemy. And emotional connection can be rebuilt when both partners remain present. That is how long marriages survive, not by avoiding hard emotional seasons, but by staying present through them. That's how long marriages are built.